Okay, so we're trying to estimate the population of some plants. We want to go outside, so, we will be outside until we get this done, so you want to get it done before lunchtime. So, girls, you've been in school until this is 12:30 and you haven't got a pen. Yeah, well, look, get yourself organised, do it quietly. Right, so we've said turn to page 18. 18 looks like this, okay? So if we get this out. Taking random numbers. So we're going to take random samples. And as we said, we're going to put 2 tape measures out. So we are going to go out. Okay, so the class average out of all 40 quadrats, 0.92. Clover, 3.15. And daisy plants, 0.88. Now you might think, how do you get 0.8 of a plant or 3.51 of a plant? We will come back after lunch and we will see how we can use these figures, okay? Folks inside out there. And so if we sort of sketch out, okay, there's the doors. We're in the science lab in here. We're looking out. There's the rugby pitch. And we are going to walk round there, round there. There's a little bit of grass. Obviously, the rugby pitch, there's lots of grass. But there's also grass on the left there. So we're going to look in that area of grass. Because if we were to look in the rugby pitch, it's been probably treated with fertiliser. Maybe it might have been treated with pesticides. I don't know. It should just be grass growing there. But we're going to look for things like dandelions and clover and so on. Okay, so you're going to work in groups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Somebody went to it? No? 16. We'll work in pairs then. Okay? So we'll have you two. Elena, you work with Chloe. 2 at the back, 2 at the back. What way do you want to divide? 2 at the back and then Daniel and Avis. Dylan and Leo and you two. Okay? So random numbers. If to that area, we're going to set out, so we're going to walk along, we're going to set out 2 tape measures. Okay? So you're going to be sort of standing here looking at that. And so your first number, is that your X or your Y coordinate usually? Your first number, X. So if your first number was 5, you go along here to 5, if that was your first number. Okay. If the second number was 8, the other person walks up to 8. And you walk across till you meet. You put your quadrat down in that area. And then you get down low and you look and see how many dandelions. So let's have. Okay, dandelion. Clover. And daisy. We're going to be looking at 3 different species of plants. And you're going to have 5 pairs of random numbers, okay? Hold on a minute. You're going to have 5 pairs of random numbers. I'm going to shout them out to you quickly. And you'll write them down in pairs like that. So sketch that out. And then you're going to go out and in your first quadrat for the random numbers, you're going to count how many dandelions you've got, how many clover you've got, and how many daisies. And so you're going to have that sort of, it's a rough table. You're going to sketch it out, just 1 per pair. Okay, so I'm going to call out. I'm going to call out your random. Okay, so you should have your coordinates written down. So we've just taken random numbers and we're using pairs of random numbers as coordinates. So what will happen? Go out, look at dandelions. Dandelions look like that. Okay? But they're probably not going to be in bloom at this time of the year. I've just shown you that. Yes, that's the flower. But we said they might not be blooming at the moment, so you're going to be looking at the leaves. Dandelion leaves look like that. Okay? Hold on. By the leaves. Any ideas why there might be a penny? To give you some idea of the size of the plant. Okay? So, if you look there, you can see there's lots of other things there in the photograph. We're just looking at the dandelion. So you can see at the bottom right, dandelion. Clover plants. But again, they may not be flowering. So you're going to have to go by leaves. So if we look at the leaves of daisies. Now, daisies are different from some other plants in that they don't sort of grow like that. They don't have a central stem, but in fact daisies all sort of come from the leaves come from the middle, and we call that a rosette. So if you were looking at it from above, the leaves would look sort of flattish on the ground. Okay, so if you look top left, that's what daisy leaves look like. Each individual leaf sort of looks like that shape there. So you put your quadrat down. And you're counting how many daisy plants you've got. You're seeing if you've got any dandelion leaves, dandelion. And you might have some clover. Now, so you've got your table. So if that was your quadrat, there may be other plants growing there. You're only going to ignore those. You're only going to count how many dandelions. So you would count dandelions. Oh, okay, we've got one dandelion. We've got, there's clover. 2 and 1, 2, 3 daisies. Now, if something is growing sort of if it's at the edge of the quadrat, if half of it is or more is inside, we'll count it. If less than half is inside the quadrat, we'll not count it. Okay? Yes?
Are these coordinates meters or centimeters?
Pardon?
Are these coordinates meters or centimeters?
They're meters. Okay? So when we get out there, we're going to put 2 quadrats out. And you've got your 5 pairs of random numbers. You need to organise yourself. Any questions about what these 3 plants look like? And you've got this to take out with you so you can remind yourself of what they look like. You're counting the number, not the number of flowers, the number of actual plants there. So the clover will grow in clumps. All right? Any questions? Okay, when you have done your 5... Sam?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your face mask on there. And Matthew, you too. When you've done your 5, then come and let me know. I will send you in here. You put your quadrat back on the front desk. You wash your hands, dry your hands, and then we're going to put the results into the computer, okay? And then we'll go for lunch. Any questions? Clover looks like that. Okay, it's much, much smaller. Penny, that's why the penny's out. But so you can see what it looks like. Okay, and is a daisy. Now you know what daisies, just bigger than the size of the 3rd plant you're going to look at. So 60 metres by 10 metres, so its total area is obviously 60 times 10, 600 metres squared. That's wrong. No, that's right. 600 metres squared. So what we've said so far, we've got 3.68 per metre squared. So we need to multiply that by the total area, which is 600, to get the total number of dandelions we would expect to find in that whole area. So what do you get when you do that sum? Anybody? Yep. $2,208 dandelions in the whole area. So you're going to do the same for clover and daisies. So you need to set out step by step, work out the, show how you calculate the average number per quadrat. Well, sorry, average per metre square. Show that. And then the total. Show your calculation at each step, all right? Okay, so Sam, what did you get for the clover? No, the final figure, the calculation you've been doing. Yeah, Matthew, have you got it?
No, because I'm just talking. I don't have mine.
Yeah, but you can still do the calculation.
You still do the calculation, thanks. So, Dylan, what did you get? Pardon? Elena, what did you get?
7,560.
What the...
That's right.
Sorry, 7,560. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So basically, average per square metre, you took 3.15 divided by 0.5. And that gives you... What gives you... Oh, I don't know what. Hold on. What, 12.6? And then 12.6 times 600 gives you 7,560. Okay, daisies. Chloe McCallum, what did you get for the daisies?
2,112.
Yeah, 2,112. So again there, it's 0.88 divided by 0.25. And that gives you 3.52. Is that right? And 3.52 times 600 gives you 2,112. Okay. Why did you use a sampling method instead of counting all the plants in the area? Chloe Johnson, why do you think we use samples rather than counting every?
Because it takes too long.
Yep. So basically, say that it would take too long to count all of the plants, or we didn't have enough time to count all of the plants. Why do we use random numbers to select the position of each quadrat? So you can say the quadrats were placed randomly so that there was no bias. That's written on the board there. What does bias mean? Well, bias is, if you're looking there and you think, oh, well, I think there's going to be more dandelions here, you would look and you would see, oh, there's dandelions, I'll put my quadrat down. You're being subjective. You're choosing. You're choosing and you're picking and choosing, or you might say, oh, that teacher always gives better marks to boys than girls. They're biased. Something like that. So because you weren't choosing where you're putting your quadrats down, you were using these random numbers, so it was nothing to do with you. It meant there was no bias in your results. How would you change? We're going to change this to more reliable results. So how do you make results more reliable?
Like a 1 and 4 quadrats.
Say that again, Sam.
Like do count like every 1 and 4 or something instead of random numbers. Like count one, leave out 3, and count another one.
So would you have more samples or less quadrats at the end?
More probably.
More, yep. Well, just the key thing is that you would take, so we would say, use more quadrats. In other words, take more samples.